What a creepy way to start a podcast, isn't that? If you can hear what's going on in the background right now, you will actually win a free coaching call. But you need to tell me where that sound is coming from, what that sound is, if you can hear it. And if you can't hear it, listen very carefully again. Because if you tell me exactly what is crashing in the background and where it's crashing, and you're the first person to do so, you will get the coaching call that you so desperately need, because you might be going through a combination of Space fucking Mountain and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's a combination of Disneyland. Now, Disneyland, for those of you who've never been, is basically Walmart with rides. So the same people you see at Walmart are the same people you see at Disneyland. Except Disneyland has prices that you will never see at Walmart, because Disneyland is out of control. A day at Disneyland will set you back, you and a child, probably $300, and a stomach ache. And you get to hang out with people you never wanted to hang out with ever before. Sometimes life feels like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or Space Mountain. I've got my good friend Mia on the podcast again. You guys remember her? Good, great. Okay, think about it. And if you didn't, you go back in time. She was with that wonderful podcast called I Surrender, You Surrender. And I don't remember the other one. I think it was about I Survived the 70s. You ever have a relationship with somebody that you literally feel like Ariel? There's a scene in The Little Mermaid, okay? It's a great scene. I've seen The Little Mermaid 45 times during, what's my daughter's name? Layla, that's right. During Layla's magical, well, I'd say 2.5 to 3.5-year-old stage, where she would watch Ariel 24/7, maybe up until 4. And there was a scene, a very poignant scene, pretty amazing scene, where Ariel was swimming. I never understood how the fuck they speak underwater, because when I speak underwater, it sounds like this, right? But they speak clear English underwater. And the fishes speak clear English underwater too, because fishes in my fish tank used to just go bloop, bloop, bloop. So Ariel looked at Flounder, who looked at Sebastian. Sebastian was a Rastafarian, Jamaican. He was red, but he just should have been a black lobster at that point, right? Because he really was Rastafarian. And I think it was Flounder gave Ariel this great advice, or Flounder, I can't remember, because I try to really forget about the painful 45 times I watched Little Mermaid. She was very frustrated because her dad, King Triton, just didn't understand her. She had this wild spirit. She really wanted somebody to do her from behind with her tail all wrapped around her neck. She was into choking with her tail, if you didn't know that, because that's the porn version of it. Ariel gives head. So Ariel was complaining to Flounder, and Flounder and Sebastian were listening very carefully. And Ariel was so frustrated because no matter what she said to King Triton had nothing about it. Well, then again, if you watch your merm wife die, remember how the merm wife died? Well, there was a flashback scene, I think, in Ariel's Big Adventure, the second one, where you got to see how Ariel's mother died. Because something about Disney is Disney movies are consistently really great. The fathers, because Walt Disney must have had some type of complex about fathers and must have had some shitty relationship with his mother, because in Disney movies, the mother always has a fucking harrowing death. All the time, or it's the wicked stepmother. So I kind of like watching Disney's movies, because, it's a good time that dad can shine for 90 minutes, right? Mom is thrown under the proverbial bus. So Ariel was talking to Flounder and Sebastian and saying, I just can't get him to understand, because I guess Ariel wanted to get banged by the man, not the, she wanted to have sex with Eric. Well, this isn't my version of it, because I always had a perverted mind. But she wanted to fall in love with him. For all you girls that believe in Disney fantasies, for me, basically she wanted to have her tail slapped across her face and have Eric basically do her. Then again, I can never tell where the vagina was, where the tail ended and the vagina started. It's really tough on mermaids. So Sebastian and Flounder said, Ariel, said Sebastian, you will never make him understand, ever, as he smoked a joint in between his lobster claws. So what is it, Mia, when we are in these relationships with our tails always getting in our way, listening to our fucking cracked out Rastafarian lobster friend, or crab, whatever the fuck he is, our little mermaid, our little Flounder, who I thought was gay, What is it? Why are we trying to make people understand? Why do we love to just go on these ridiculous adventures through our mind and we think this is going to be the night that I come home and I'm going to make them understand? I'm going to phrase it differently this time. I'm going to write them this email, this massive, beautiful email. You read it to 7 of your friends, Flounder, Sebastian, Snow White, the perverted 7 dwarfs. That's actually Harvey Weinstein, I think, because they all look like little chubby versions of Harvey Weinstein. So you got the 7 dwarfs, right? Or we call them the 7 Weinsteins, Snow White and the 7 Weinsteins. You've got all the other Disney characters thrown fucking in. You got Beauty and the Beast. The Beast kind of looks like Bill Cosby if we want to bring a modern day version to it. Except this poor Beast drugged people. Not really me funny. Bill Cosby, Jello man, fuck. I remember Jello shots and putting weed in Jello. I didn't realize Bill Cosby was actually doing shit in Jello. So why do we try, no matter how hard we do, no matter who we engage, why do we seem to go up against somebody that consistently shuts us down for a long period of time and we think we actually have the power to change them or make them understand? Please enlighten everybody.
Well, I think first and foremost, we don't know any better at the point in time when we're engaging in that behavior, because if we knew better, we wouldn't be doing it. And so we attract someone into our life that's going to provide us with an opportunity to learn the lessons that we need to learn to evolve beyond the point of making that kind of choice in a relationship partner, right? So, for example, if I had a parent that didn't pay attention to me, and they were absent in my life, and were not expressive of love, not affectionate, then I might attract a man into my life who is unavailable emotionally, physically, probably somewhat verbally abusive, diminishes my value so that I don't, feel worthy of love and therefore blame myself and don't have the experience that I want to have with him. But what I'm really doing is I'm attracting the opportunity that will mirror the upsetting, disturbing, kind of emotionally disabling experience of my childhood, so that I can become aware of the places inside of myself that need healing. And until we wake up to that and really engage in that healing process, then we continue to have that charge. Because whenever we have a pain, emotional pain inside, or a place in our heart that requires loving, we will be seeking that out energetically. It's like a magnet. We are magnetized to people that will provide us with an opportunity to see that part of ourselves and to heal it.
Is that the reason why some of us stay in long relationships? Is it, we were talking about this off mic. Is it the stubbornness? Is it the lack of acceptance? Is it the way that we look at love or seem like we want to be loved? Or, I mean, this to me, as I was explaining to you off mic, I am really stubborn that way. I'm like the New Yorker. I figure I can get through to anybody. I mean, that's my job, right? I'm a communications person. I can get through, I can teach anybody a lesson. But yet there are people in my life, one person in my life, where I've had trouble. Actually, no matter what I will say to them, they will never hear it, ever. They do not hear it. They do not want to hear it. They will never accept it. They will never bring it in. Because there's always that one person that comes, that the universe brings you, right? Whether it's Sebastian or Flounder or, King Triton or whatever it is. There's always a villain in every single one of these movies. Now, the fact of the matter is, if you're a victim in your life, there's always villains in your life. But in reality, we're all just victims and we're all villains at certain times. And we all just switch roles and switch characters. And it really doesn't matter who you are, what you think you are. There's just moments that we are one of all, but we're responsible for all our actions. So tell me, please, I am begging, audience, beg, okay? You're seeing a grown man right now grovel at the mic. I'm getting down on my knees right now. I feel like I'm going to be tortured by Ving. Remember that scene in Pulp Fiction? Did you see Pulp Fiction? Uh-huh. Yeah, remember that scene in Pulp Fiction? Okay, when they put the ball in Ving Rhames' mouth, right? The guy was beating him from behind, the whole thing. That was fucked up. Now, that's not the type of torture you want. But if you stay in a relationship long enough, you will have the Pulp Fiction ball in your mouth. If you don't know that, Google that scene. How do we know when enough is enough? And we literally look at our little furry friends or fishy friends or vingrames and we say to it, we go, fuck you. Like that, fuck you. You know a movie that's from? Fuck you, right? Do you know that movie?
No.
No. Okay, so ding, 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 ding. Bonus round today in the podcast. If you know the character that said fuck you in the movie, and the first one to email me, you will get a free coaching call. Fuck you. Okay, think about it. I'm not going to tell you who he is. I'm not going to tell you what substance was coming out of his nose at the time. Does that give you any hints? No, not at all? All right. So for those of you who don't know, fuck you, as he got shot. All right, a little too much about the movie. A little too much Crockett and Tubbs in there. So, little hint. Anyway, how do we know when enough is enough?
So, what I like to do is a process where we define what we actually want. I really feel like working through things from a positive perspective rather than a negative perspective is a lot more useful and effective and quick. You know, I don't like prolonged suffering myself. It's not really...
Oh, I seem to love it.
Yeah. Self-flogging is not my thing. So anyways, if you want to get out of the shtuck faster, then...
Shtuck is a good word.
Yeah, right?
Is that Jewish?
It is.
Shtuck?
Yeah.
So can we stop and shtuck at the same time? Is it possible to do
not.
that? No?
No, I don't
right.
think so.
Stopping is good.
I think people do that sometimes, and then their shtuck is even worse.
Do they get
stupid.
verklempt after they stuck and they stucked?
Probably, among other things.
Probably losing half the people right now thinking, what the fuck are they talking about? Well, look it up. Stupping is a good thing, verklempt is a good thing, and stuck is what you're learning right now. So keep going.
So the process is essentially identifying what a person truly wants. And, when we go inside our heart, we center ourselves in ourself. We get clear and aligned with our higher truth. And we identify the qualities of the partner that we're seeking. The qualities of heart, the qualities of communication, the qualities even of lifestyle, values. When we are very clear and identify what we're seeking in a match, we can then hold that up to this person who we're having a relationship with. And if it's, greater than 50% off from what we're looking for, it's a pretty clear sign that we're not going to be fulfilled. And so we've probably attracted this person into our life to learn some really valuable lessons. And so before we discard the person or the relationship or even write it off, there's a huge opportunity, right? Because inevitably, if we have unfinished business, we're going to go out into the world and we're going to attract other opportunities to finish that business up. So why not take advantage and learn the lessons that we're in the relationship to learn, clean up our side of the street by learning our lessons and integrating that into a higher version of ourself, and then get magnetized to what we truly want and go out into the world and attract it.
I'm going to leave them with this wisdom. You're going to tell them how to contact you after this, but a good friend of mine told me one time, I won't mention him by name, Sebastian. So he told me one time, he said, David, no, that's definitely not Sebastian. That's almost like a crab that was British, David. My friend said to me one time, you can't take the trash. You can't take the white out of trash. And if you're going to always go down beneath you, you're always going to sink to the trash that floats below you. And it was really great. And this was somebody who was very funny, very well-known healer, well-known person. And I couldn't believe it came out of his mouth. And he looked at me afterwards and he says, what? He goes, you don't think I fucking have a sense of humor? He goes, go ahead. Continue to argue beneath you and you sink to their level. Mm-hmm. You can't take the white out of trash. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you that want to elevate your life, elevate your soul, elevate your spirit, you will post this podcast on all your Facebook walls. Why? Because I have asked you many times, I'm going to keep asking you and asking you and asking you, and I'm going to keep giving you this content because to me, a podcast a day keeps the doctor away. So the more you listen to me, the more you won't need doctors or nurses. Nurses are cute. Practitioners are even great. I don't know, I always nurse practitioner. That sounds so sexy, nurse practitioner. You're not a nurse, but you're a nurse practitioner, which means that she can practice the little spun baths on me. Thank you very much. I'm going to go sit there and I'm going to drool, and you're going to do a spun bath, nurse practitioner. Anyway, you're going to post a podcast, you're going to spread it and share it, and I'm going to leave you 2 things. Do you know the big hairstyle right now for men is the Billy Bibbit hairstyle? Do you know Billy Bibbit?
I do not, and I didn't know that hairstyle was it. Is that what you have?
No, I don't have the Billy Bibbit. The Billy Bibbit style. Billy Bibbit was the crazy guy on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Go ahead, Google Billy Bibbit. It's the hairstyle that's in now. It's literally like you're shaved all around, except you have a patch of hair on the top of your head. Billy Bibbit. So the hairstyle that's now in and trendy is the same one that was worn by crazy people in fucking straitjackets and institutions in the 70s. Billy Bibbit from Cuckoo's Nest. Anyway, if you want to get out of your Billy Bibbit life and really have a life that's full of love and endless possibilities and incredible little friends like Flounder and Sebastian, where can they find more information about you?
So you can contact me through the website at rhythmia.com. rythmia.com, and my name is Mia Rue.
My name is David Wygant, and your name is? Say it out loud, and look and see if other people think you're crazy. Go ahead, say your name out loud right now. I dare you to do it. Say your name out loud, really loud right now, and look around. That's right, nobody notices. Everybody's staring at you.